Hello, my name is Joe and I'm the founder of Matchedwise, and in this video I'm going to walk you through your very first sign up offer with matched betting and teach you how to make £22.50 or more in guaranteed profit. This is one of the best offers to start with, and it's the Bet365 bet £10 and get £30 in free bets offer. I've got loads of tips and advice I want to give, but I'm just going to go straight into it and I'll leave them to the end of the video. So let's get into it. So first we need to sign up to Bet365. I probably would recommend doing this whole thing on your laptop, but you can do it on your phone if you want to as well. So we need to make sure we're signing up with the bet £10 get £30 in free bets offer, as you can see on screen now. There are a few bits of information there: deposit required, free bets available on qualifying bet settlement, and the minimum odds for this qualifying bet need to be 1.2. So don't worry about that too much for now, but we need to enter our information and we need to sign up, and we then need to deposit our £10. Okay, so now as you can see I have signed up to Bet365 and deposited £10. Next we need to place our qualifying bet. For qualifying bets we tend to want to use lower odds, as this reduces our liability that we need. Don't worry about that for now, but it basically reduces the amount of money we need in our Smarkets. So we want to use low odds, preferably below 3.0, but we also need to make sure we're above the minimum odds requirements for the specific offer, which in this case is 1.2. So between 1.2 and 3.0 are good for our qualifying bet. And this is the same with the free bets, but we want the back and the lay odds to be as close as possible. So the back odds, so the bookie odds on Bet365, we want them ideally to be as close as possible to the lay odds on an exchange like Smarkets. So let's say we've got back odds of 2.0 on Bet365. We ideally want odds on Smarkets of something like 2.05 or 2.1. That's going to be a good qualifying bet. So how do we actually go about finding good qualifying bets or good free bets? Now this is going to be a quick plug for the premium group with Matchedwise, that we post good qualifying bets and free bets every week for you to use, so it makes this a lot easier. So if I show you on here, this is for this week for qualifying bets and free bets. We're going to scroll down to Friday and there's a list of good qualifying bets. We've got Switzerland, Sweden, Slovenia, Denmark, Iceland, and then some free bets as well, but we'll come on to that later. So let's just go with Switzerland. We now need to check the odds on Bet365, and we also need to check the odds on Smarkets, the exchange where we lay things. Okay, so we need to find the odds for Switzerland to win on 365. It's the World Cup qualifiers on at the moment, so we're going to find it there. We're going to hit on soccer there, and we need to go down to the Switzerland game. There we go. Switzerland versus Kosovo. Oh, and actually there's another important reminder. Make sure you turn your odds format to decimal. It's on fractional at the moment, but put it on decimal. It makes it so much easier. I'm going to do that right now. Okay, so there we go. We're now on decimal odds, which is going to be important. And down to the Switzerland game, you can see the Switzerland odds are 1.4. If you've never placed a bet before, don't worry. Basically, next to the game here, those odds for Switzerland to win are on the left. Then the middle is going to be a draw, and then the right is for Kosovo to win. You can also actually click on the game and it will show you in a bit more detail. We just want the normal full-time result odds. Don't worry about the enhanced prices for the moment. We can get to that at a different point. So the odds for Switzerland to win are 1.4. We're now going to head over to Smarkets, the exchange, and check what the odds are on there. Okay, so we're now on Smarkets and we need to head to the Switzerland game and check the odds. There we go, Switzerland versus Kosovo. And the lay odds, which is the blue box, is 1.44. So the back odds on Bet365 are 1.4 and the lay odds on Smarkets are 1.44. So 1 to 1.44. We now need to use a special bit of software called a matched betting calculator to work out our lay stakes, so we know exactly what we need to stake so we don't lose any money, or we know exactly what's going to happen before we place both of these bets. So to do that, we're going to head over to the Matchedwise website onto calculators, and we're just going to use the standard matched betting calculator. Now, as you can see, I'm on there now, and we need to select no free bet. This is a qualifying bet, so we're just going to keep it on the normal no free bet. And the strategy here is standard lay, so keep it on that. The back stake, the stake on Bet365 we need to place is £10. The odds on Bet365 were 1.4 for Switzerland to win. No commission on bookies, so don't worry about that. Lay odds, now the lay odds are 1.44. And we've got 0% on Smarkets, so no lay commission because we sign up with code COMFREE. And as you can see, our required lay stake is £9.72. And it will actually break it down for us in the profit outcome section. So we are going to have to take a small qualifying loss. This is natural for qualifying bets like this. We take a small qualifying loss and then we make more on the free bets. We're going to make loads of profit. So £22.50 plus profit from the free bet, so don't worry about this. So for this example, we're going to lose 28p regardless of what happens. This is pretty standard. A qualifying loss in a £10 bet, anywhere between 50 to 60p is fine, don't worry about it. As long as it's not creeping up towards a £1 qualifying loss for a £10 qualifying bet, You want to keep it as low as possible, as close to zero. As I said, anywhere 50p or below is really good. So in this example, 28p is pretty good. So if the back bet wins, so effectively if Switzerland win the match, then we're going to make £4 in profit from the bookmaker, and on the exchange we're going to lose £4.28, which leaves us with negative 28p, so 28p qualifying loss. And if the back bet loses, so if Switzerland either draw or lose the match, then we're going to lose that £10 from Bet365 on the back bet, but we're going to make £9.72 back from the exchange. So that's going to leave us with the exact same qualifying loss of 28p. On the exchange, if the bet on the exchange loses, we lose our liability. If you have no idea what I'm saying, then don't worry. There's going to be a video in the guide section explaining what laying is. It should be called What is Laying or something along those lines. That's going to explain liability in a lot more detail to help you understand it. So that's a pretty good qualifying loss. I'm happy with it. So we now need to head over to Bet365 and place our £10 bet, and then also head over to Smarkets and place our lay stake of £9.72 on the lay for the same thing of Switzerland to win. So I'll show you those two things now. So if you've never placed a bet before, don't worry, I'm going to walk you through it. So we're going to click on Switzerland to win here, full-time result, and a little box comes up. We then need to set our stake, which is £10. And it shows our returns on there as well, which is £14, which you can check on the calculator if you need to. And we're just going to place that bet. As you can see, the bet has been placed. Happy days. We now need to head over to Smarkets. You should have already deposited some money into Smarkets because you are going to need some money in your balance to lay this bet. And we now need to click on the blue box, which is the lay box. The lay is always the blue. It should say sell or against or something along those lines. And our lay stake was £9.72 from the match betting calculator. And it gives us our liability. We can check on there, and we can double check that with the calculator to make sure it all matches up as well. We now need to place trade and confirm trade, and as you can see, the bet has been fully matched. We have been fully matched there, £9.72 at odds of 1.44. Make sure it does say fully matched. If it doesn't say fully matched, you might need to replace the bet at slightly different odds, but more times than not, it should just say fully matched. So there you go, you've just placed your first matched bet, albeit it is a qualifying bet, so you haven't made any profit yet, but well done. Now we've just got to wait for these bets to settle. The game is this evening, so it will probably be tomorrow, and I'll show you how to make your guaranteed profit from the free bets, because we don't get the free bets till this bet has settled. Okay, so it's the day after now and everything has settled, and I'll show you exactly what happened. So if I go into my bets here, as you can see, Switzerland actually won the match 4-0, so that bet, the back bet, won. So it says £14 returns, so that includes the £10 stake, so it's only £4 profit. And now if I go onto Smarkets, I'll show you what happened on there, just to double check that the calculator is actually true and match betting works and it's not a myth. So as you can see, I'm now on Smarkets. I've gone onto bets, and you can see the Switzerland, ignore the one at the top, the Switzerland game, Switzerland, the lay bet lost, and we lost our liability, which was £4.28. So in total, we have lost 28p, which I believe is what we worked out with our match betting calculator. So match betting isn't a scam, guys. If you don't understand liability, there's a guide in the guide section that explains laying. It's called What is Laying, or How Does Laying Work, or something like that. And that explains exactly what liability is. But as I said before, this is just a walkthrough of it, so I'm not going to go into too much detail about it. Okay, so we've done our qualifying bet and we've made our qualifying loss, and we've now unlocked our £30 in free bets. You can see that we have £30 in bet credits. Bet credits, free bets, different bookies call them different things. So now we need to find a good bet for our free bet for our £30 in bet credits, and I'm going to head over to the MatchedWise Premium Discord and see what the suggestions are in there for a free bet. So over in the bets to use channel, it is Saturday today, and free bets, there's some suggestions: Latvia to win, Armenia versus Portugal draw, Wimbledon, halftime result Wimbledon. So I'm just going to have a quick look through those and see which ones give the most profit. I'm not sure if I mentioned it in the bit about qualifying bets. It's the same with free bets. You want to have the back odds as close to the lay odds as possible, and that's the same for qualifying bets and free bets. This is going to either allow us to reduce our qualifying loss or increase the amount of profit with our free bet. So let me give you an example for the qualifying bet. A good qualifying bet would be back odds of 2.0 and lay odds of 2.1. But a bad example of a qualifying bet would be back odds of 2.5 and lay odds of 3.5. The gap between back and lay is so much bigger in that the profit is going to be much less. The same goes for free bets. So a good example of a free bet is back odds of 5.0, lay odds of 5.2. That's going to yield a lot of profit. A bad example would be back odds of 6.0, lay odds of 9.0. That's going to be much less profit because the distance is so much bigger. This is the sort of thing you'll just pick up with practice. You'll learn to recognize which odds are good. So don't worry about it too much for now, but you'll pick it up as you go along. So I've had a little look, and I'm actually going to go with halftime result Wimbledon. And I've found that to be the most profitable one. The back odds are 7.0 and the lay odds on Smarkets, which I've checked, are 7.8. I'll just show you both of those things. So I've gone to the game on Bet365. I'm now going to go to half, and as you can see, half-time result, the odds for AFC Wimbledon are 7.0. Next, I need to check the lay odds on Smarkets for the same thing. So I'm over on Smarkets now. I'm going to look at the Wimbledon game. So Wimbledon. And I now need to find the market for half-time result on Smarkets. So I've got a bit of experience. I'm going to go to half-time result. Now, as you can see, the lay odds are 7.8. So the blue box is always the lay odds are 7.8. So now we need to go to the Matched matched betting calculator to work out what we need to stake and what our profit is going to be. So now I'm over on the matched betting calculator. We need to change one setting because we're using a free bet here. We're not using a qualifying bet, we're doing a free bet. So in the free bet question mark, we need to change things to free bet SNR. Not the other one, free bet SNR. Majority of free bets are going to be free bet SNR, which means stake not return. So when you place the free bet, if it wins, you don't get the free bet back in cash effectively. It's a bit confusing, but don't worry, we need to put it on free bet SNR. That's all you need to worry about. So the back bet, our stake is going to be £30 because it's a £30 free bet. The odds for Wimbledon halftime result was 7.0 on Bet365, which is the back side. Then the lay odds on Smarkets were 7.8. And if we scroll down, this is our lay stake, £23.08. And our profit, regardless of what happens, is going to be £23.08, which is pretty nice. This is above our target of £22.50 because 75% of a £10 free bet is £7.50. 75% of a £30 free bet, is £22.50. So anything around there or above is good. So this is a great example. And as you can see, if you want me to break it down, if the back bet wins, so if Wimbledon do win the halftime result and they are winning at halftime, then the bookmaker is going to pay out £180 in profit, and the exchange, our liability, is going to be £156.92 loss, giving us £23.08 profit. And if the back bet loses, so if Wimbledon aren't winning at halftime, then our bookmaker isn't going to make any money because that bet's lost, but our exchange is going to make £23.08, and that leaves us with £23.08 profit either way. So as you can see, whatever happens in the match, then we're still going to make that profit. And as you can see, this is the required lay stake on Smarkets, obviously assuming you've got 0% commissions. So I'm just going to copy that. First of all, I'm going to head over to Bet365 and place the back bet with the free bets. So I'm going to click on halftime result AFC Wimbledon, click the free bets option, type in 30 because we're using bet credits. Different bookies will vary slightly about how you need to use your free bets, but I'm sure you can work it out. And I'm going to go ahead and place that. So as you can see, use £30 in bet credits. Now I need to head over to Smarkets, and I'm going to place the lay, £23.08, straight in there. The liability is £156.95, which you can check on the calculator, should match up. It might be a couple of pennies different, but it should more or less be the same if you wanted to check. And I'm going to go ahead and place that trade. So there we go, confirm trade. There we go, fully matched. You look on bets, all active bets, AFC Wimbledon, stake £23.08, fully matched at price, which just means odds of 7.8. Now, if you didn't have enough liability, if you didn't have £156.95 in your Smarkets balance, then don't worry, you can just break up these free bets into £10 increments, or even less, like £5 increments. So you could just do a £10 free bet on one thing, wait for that all to settle, do another £10 free bet on a different thing, wait for that to settle, and do it again for your final £10 in free bets. But I have enough money to cover the liability, so for the sake of this video, I'm just going to show you it all in one go. So we've got our total profit from our free bets, and we also know our qualifying loss, so our total profit from this offer is going to be on screen now. I think it's around £22.70 or 80p or something like that, so it's above that 75% threshold which we aim for, which is really good. So there you have it, there's a walkthrough of your first sign up offer with matched betting. I've gone through the sign up offer very quickly, so I'm going to reel off some tips and advice for this at the end of the video as opposed to the beginning, just so I could get right into it at the beginning. So first of all is going to be, make sure to read the T's and C's of the sign up offers is really important. Things like the minimum odds for your qualifying bet are going to be really important, because if you don't place the bet at the minimum odds or above, then you're not going to get credited with your free bets. So if it says minimum odds of 2.0, make sure you're placing a bet at minimum odds of 2.0. It sounds stupid, but you don't want to forget, because you might not be able to get those free bets then. Another thing that I should have mentioned before is make sure you always turn your odds format to decimal on the bookmakers. It makes everything so much easier. If you have done betting before, it might take a bit of getting used to, but it is honestly so much easier than fractional odds. So make sure you do that. For any calculators that you need, head to matchedwise.com. We've got all the calculators there, and the one you're going to use for sign-up offers is just the standard matched betting calculator. Again, make sure the back and lay odds are as close as possible at all times, because that's going to maximize your profit or minimize your qualifying loss. And another thing about reading T's and C's, with these bigger bookies like the ones I've used here, Bet365, William Hill, Paddy, Coral, all of these ones, you'll be all right for that. But when it gets to the smaller bookies, always make sure you read the T's and C's, I'd say, in more detail, because there can be things like you can only use one bookie in the entire network of bookies. Sometimes these smaller bookies have multiple bookies under the same sort of umbrella. They're effectively like sister sites, and you can only do one of the signups in any of the sister sites. For example, the Progress Play network, a lot of the bookies on there say only one sign up per network. Just a quick plug for the premium group, we've got the list of the sign up offers in the best order to do them, and it sort of walks you through them and lets you know if there's those sort of things. But if you did want to do it yourself, make sure you always read the T's and C's, which obviously is going to take more time, but there you go. Another one is check online for certain new promos. Some bookies don't really do promos for sign-up offers at all, they just stick to the same ones. But some bookies do promos, like specific codes you can use to get a better sign-up offer. You want to make sure you're doing the sort of sign-up offers that are bet something, get free bets. There are different ones where you can get like refund sign-up offers and money back if it loses and stuff. But if you can, try and keep it to just bet and get free bets, because they're the easiest ones to use. So for example, I know like Sky Bet do like promos. I see them on Instagram and even Snapchat on some bookies. So it's always worth just having a Google around, see if you can find a better offer. You might be able to find a better code. Betfred, for example, might have good codes. But yeah, you might not be able to get one, but it's always worth having a little look around. And some of these sites give you good codes to use and stuff if you can find them. So yeah, that was all the tips I could think of for this first sign-up offer. Obviously there's more to come, so I'll hopefully give you more information as we go along. So well done on making your first bit of profit with matched betting. I know it can be a lot of effort to start with, or going through all these guides and stuff, but stick with it and you're going to be able to go through this whole process in literally minutes, and just keep doing it, rinse and repeat, and make a lot of money. So thanks a lot for watching, and if you have any questions, then just message me on Discord or get in the free group and put them in the free chat, or even better, get in the premium group, because it's just going to make everything so much easier. Everything's in the right place where you need it, and you can just sort of go through things much faster. And on top of that, get access to better support from other members and me as well. So I'd really recommend it. If you've gone through this, hopefully you've made at least £22.50 in profit. So if you put that straight into the premium group, you're just going to accelerate your profits so much faster and get to the end goal, whatever your end goal is, whether it's £1,000, whether it's £10,000, you're going to get to it so much faster, because match betting doesn't just finish at sign-up offers, it goes on past that, and that's actually where most of the profit is made.